For the nation, by the nation. Islam Alive Radio.
Good day, listeners. Today is Saturday, the 9th of March. The time is 3 p.m. South African time. I'm your host, Ash Karigo, reporting from Cape Town, South Africa. This is the show, Liberation Education. Shukran for being tuned to Islam Alive Radio. Remember, you may check us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, where you can like, share, and subscribe. For any queries, email us on islamaliveradio@gmail.com or send us a WhatsApp on +27 81 217 6012. That's +27 81 217 6012. Disclaimer: the views and opinions of Islam Alive Radio expressed by any guest or presenter are not necessarily the views of Islam Alive Radio. Previously on the chapters of Liberation Education, last week we had Waheedah Dien from Halaal Sisters Retreat, and we were speaking about the concept of mental health through international connections, through travel of sisters going to a different space to recharge from the hustle and bustle of everyday life and to build themselves up mentally, physically, and emotionally. On those 9 previous chapters, we recognize the power of solidarity through caring for others, healthcare management, and how to navigate through that space together. And I feel that this organization for chapter 10 that I have for you has great insights into this. We've been talking so much about our past in these podcasts, histories of injustices, to our present struggles, where we came from, that affects where we are, what we should do in the now. But we've never really stopped to think about where we are going, our future at the very end of our life, and the empowering liberation of what it means to have lived. And that's why I met today with the executive team from St. Luke's Combined Hospices that will give us insight of this future of an empowering farewell. Shukran so much for being here with us today. This is the first time that 3 guests are responding to my questions, so I'm very honored and very excited for this chapter 10 ahead. Tell us about yourselves, who you are, and what you do.
Greetings, and thank you so much for having me. I'm Dr. Ronita Mahilall. I am the Chief Executive Officer of St. Luke's Combined Hospices, and my background is social work, and I'm just delighted to be leading such an iconic organization.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Feerouza Kruger. I am the HOD for Revenue Services, which includes finance, retail, fundraising, and marketing and events.
Good day. My name is Petersen-Damon. I am the Head of Department for Palliative Care Services at St. Luke's Combined Hospices, where we have our community team as well as our inpatient unit, our volunteers, and community hospices.
I'm so honored to have all 3 of you with us today on Islam Alive Radio. I'm also aware that you have a pledge drive upcoming on the 31st of March from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. on Halaal TV, channel 347, and we're very excited for that. And our audience would probably like to know, what is St. Luke's Combined Hospices known for?
St. Luke's Combined Hospices is a leading hospice in caring for people who are terminally ill, and the medical term for that is palliative care. So we provide services to people who have been diagnosed with a terminal illness from the time of diagnosis and referral to us up until death, and even post-death support to the family members for up to 13 months post-death. The intervention is not only centralized to the patient, although the patient is core to the intervention, but family members, loved ones are also supported through our interdisciplinary team that consists of our medical colleagues, they are nurses and doctors, and our psychosocial colleagues who are social workers, spiritual care workers, and bereavement care workers.
It's great that you have so many members to support you in this team. You also mentioned how you are leading in palliative care. You are referred to as a national leader of palliative care. What is palliative care and why is it so important for us as South Africans to care about?
St. Luke's Combined Hospices celebrates its 44th birthday in August, and indeed it is one of the most iconic and leading hospices in South Africa. It is palliative care or end-of-life care is critical. I think the COVID pandemic has shown us that from the time of diagnosis, in this case, being inflicted by COVID-19 to the time of death has been quite rapid. And the services of the palliative care team or colleagues trained in that specialization cannot be overemphasized. Largely, we are seeing a growing population of people facing or patients facing other life-limiting illnesses such as cancer, end-stage renal failure, end-stage cardiac failure. And so the services of a palliative care team, the sensitivity with which they care for their patients and the compassion with which they do so is critical and vital.
Definitely your specialization of this field in palliative care for South Africans is incredibly crucial, and we're all wondering when and how was this created? What was the inspiration behind this hospices, this project?
As just mentioned, St. Luke's Combined Hospices turns 44. Like most iconic institutions of care, 44 years ago, Dr. Christine Dare, a medical doctor, and a few concerned members of the public, largely belonging to a church organization, felt that there was definitely a need to care for palliating patients. They got together and brainstormed on how was the best way to provide that intervention outside a hospital setting. And fast forward 44 years later, you will find St. Luke's Combined Hospices situated in Kenilworth, where we provide not only inpatient care, but we also provide outpatient care in the form of our day hospices. And of course, we also provide care at home, and every effort is made to meet the care needs of the patients, whether they would like to be cared for in our 10-bed facility in Kenilworth or our number of day hospices out in the community and or at home.
I love the different methods of care that you have for your patients. And you also have St. Luke's, it includes combined hospices over Western Cape. Please inform us where you are based and other locations that are affiliated with St. Luke's.
If you will, the headquarters of St. Luke's Combined Hospices is based in Kenilworth, where the inpatient unit is. And then we have day hospices based all over the community. For example, we have one in the West Coast. We have another day hospice in Falls Bay. We have one in Mitchell's Plain, Grassy Park, Athlone, and Khayelitsha and Gugulethu. So every effort is made by St. Luke's Combined Hospices to provide for the diversity within which we find ourselves geographically, socially, and economically.
I love how you cater to different people at different places. Which professionals are also included in your palliative care team?
The professionals included in our palliative care team, we have registered professional nurses, we've got registered social workers, our spiritual bereavement counselors and volunteers, as well as our medical doctor, and we also include other professional volunteers such as our aromatherapists, we have massage therapists, touch therapists, death doulas, just to name a few.
There is quite a number of supporters or professionals on your team, and it's great that you have that structure at St. Luke's Hospices. Tell us about your community-based care, or you mentioned the daycare as well.
I think what really sets us apart is our daycare or day hospice concept. It is one aspect of our community-based palliative care services that we offer. We have got 7 community day hospices in our communities based out in Athlone, Grassy Park, Mitchells Plain, Khayelitsha, Gugulethu, our West Coast, and in our Fish Hoek areas. It is an opportunity for our patients who are not bedridden to meet once a week. And what do we offer at the day hospice? They've got access to our professional team. It's also an opportunity for support and for them to experience and enjoy different activities, outings, socialization, and really just making them feel at home and having a sense of belonging and community. And this is what really sets St. Luke's Hospices apart, the concept of the day hospice or our outpatient services which we do offer to our patients and our families.
St. Luke's is definitely set apart from others in many ways, including your day center, like you mentioned. How many patients do you attend to per day, and how are you able to manage them?
Our interdisciplinary community teams care for more than 600 patients on a daily basis across the communities we serve. The interventions of our team is based on the needs of each of the individual patients and family, and that is how they are managed within a holistic continuum of care, looking at all spheres of needs of that patient, whether it's medical needs, psychosocial needs, as well as spiritual and bereavement needs as well.
Wow, that's a huge amount of patients that you take care of every day, and it's testament to all the work that you do and the impact that you have on so many people's lives. I'd like to ask more questions that are pertaining to this spirituality you spoke on. In an introductory video of St. Luke's, the voiceover acknowledged that healing doesn't always mean curing, accompanied by images of paintings, sculptures, and symbols of different religions. What then is healing at St. Luke's?
At St. Luke's, when we talk about healing, it is all about the patient. It's always patient first. And it's about that patient's acceptance of their own personal journey. Not just the patient, but for the family as well. It is about their belief system and getting in touch with their belief system and how they understand their own existence within the broader world. It is about walking alongside the patient and the family and walking alongside in their own self-discovery, their self-acceptance, their self-healing, and I think importantly for them to find peace within themselves. And that is what the team does at St. Luke's Combined Hospices, is walking alongside. It's holding hands, it's being present for that patient and their families.
I love the individualized care for the patient as well as the support you have for the loved ones. Just that connection between, taking care of both the patient as well as the parents or their family and friends. It's also mentioned that living can mean choosing to die with dignity. How does your hospice enhance the sense of dignity within death?
At St. Luke's Combined Hospices, we believe death and dying is a natural cause within the continuum of life. And at our hospice, we enhance the sense of dignity within death by accepting any patient and family who we care for without any prejudice, without any judgment whatsoever. We assist that person to live life to the very, very fullest and to enjoy life until the day that they die so that they can have a quality life. They can live their dreams. Our teams facilitate that for our patients and our families. For each person to be able to have that choice as to where they would die, how would they want to die, and if it's the wish of the patient to die within their homes, our teams facilitate that. And that is what our community-based home care outpatient service is also about.
That sense of dignity through death, whether it be diversity or agency, is really significant. And how you go through that between the patient and their loved ones is quite inspiring. We'll be taking a short break. After the ads and qasidas, we'll be continuing with Liberation Education on Islam Live Radio. Sit back, relax, and see you after the beat.
St. Luke's Combined Hospices are dedicated to providing compassionate palliative care to on average 600 patients every day and need your help to continue its mission. Join us on Sunday, 31st of March from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Pledge your support, big or small, and help us significantly impact the lives of those facing terminal illnesses. Your pledge enables us to offer comfort, dignity, and support to palliating patients and their families. Pledge day telephone 087 2655045 or WhatsApp 079 215 1412.
Greetings from Islam Alive Radio. I'm your host of Liberation Education, Ashka Rigo. The audio you just heard is called Take Me in Your Arms. It's a cover by Kotar, and it's actually a TikTok audio about, in Arabic, about someone who wants to be in the arms of their loved ones during tough times. It's a testament of this chapter 10 of the series, taking a step back from the political past and present onto a more philosophical future with the executive team of St. Luke's Combined Hospices. Speaking on this idea of philosophy, it was mentioned that St. Luke's is not a place where people come to die, but a philosophy. Why is this care associated with the genre of a philosophy?
At St. Luke's Combined Hospices and the whole aspect of palliative care and hospice, we continue to dispel the myth that a hospice is where people come to die. And rightfully, like you say, it is a philosophy. And what is this philosophy that we attune to? It is about journeying with that patient and the family to help them to understand their own truths, the truths about themselves, about the world in which they live, and I think importantly, their relationship to the world and in their relationship to other. A philosophy of palliative care, it is actually really to maximize that quality of life through holism. We look at the person holistically, looking at the medical aspects, the psychosocial aspects, as well as the spiritual and bereavement aspects as well. So philosophy is lived, and we help that person to live their own philosophy.
Considering philosophy is seen or referred to as a way of life, I'm glad that St. Luke's Combined Hospices allows everyone to choose the way of life that they deem fit for themselves and their loved ones. Even though we discuss philosophy, there's also a political aspect as well, because Dame Saunders, who encouraged the initiation of St. Luke's Hospices in South Africa, she also fought against racial segregation in the medical field and having agency over one's own body. On liberation education, we honor voices of social justice and change against oppressive systems. How can the medical field and the education of hospice services possibly liberate us today?
30 years later, we emerge from the draconian past of apartheid, and while there is still the ravages and residual lingerings of that regime, every effort is made by St. Luke's Combined Hospices to treat people who have a terminal illness. We do not segregate anyone nor discriminate against anyone. We've treated people from all walks of life, from all socioeconomic backgrounds, from all religions, with different faiths, different linguistic diversity, and cultural diversity as well. The services provided by St. Luke's Combined Hospices, being a not-for-profit organization, is 100% free, and no one is turned away, especially at the community level and the home level, because that intervention is the right of the terminally ill patients. Because we have a 10-bed facility, sometimes when bed occupancy is high, patients may not be cared for in an inpatient facility, but they are definitely cared for at the community and home-based care level.
How you acknowledge the impact of apartheid and how that affected our institutionalized beings of today is really important. In fact, along with your founder, St. Luke's Combined Hospices emboldens diversity in the medical field. In what ways does your hospice break barriers, these social barriers that you mentioned after apartheid?
St. Luke's Combined Hospices is not new to breaking down of social barriers. I think being in existence for the past 44 years this year, the organization in itself has gone through transformation. And I'm saying transformation in the sense of making the palliative care services available and accessible to those who need it the most. We have moved away from just serving affluent communities, and for a long time we have moved into other outerlying areas where we serve our patients irrespective of their background, their social standing, their social status, their sexual orientation, or even their belief system. And I think what encapsulates how we break down these barriers is our philosophy and our ethos, which links with a quote of our founder, Dame Cicely Saunders. And it states, "You matter because you are you, and you matter to the end of your life. We will do all we can, not only to help you die peacefully, but also to live until you die." And I think that is so appropriate for the service that we offer and the holistic service that we offer to our patients, irrespective where they come from, who they are. We offer the same service throughout all of our communities.
A brilliant quote from Dame Cicely Saunders, and like you said, it does encapsulate what you're all about, helping people irrespective of their backgrounds and just this holistic support. Your staff provides this holistic, and I mean psychological, social and spiritual support. Can you explain these three levels in detail?
When someone is diagnosed with a life-threatening or life-limiting illness, immediately it creates a disequilibrium within the functioning of that family, and you would find a family in crisis. And our social workers as part of the interdisciplinary team, plays a significant role in supporting that individual and the family in dealing constructively with the disequilibrium and that crisis. They do that through the support of counseling sessions, through the facilitation of certain processes. Certain conversations are facilitated between the patient and their families, as well as amongst family members. Our social workers are also well connected with community-based resources, and they also assist our patient and families in facilitation of wills, as well as connecting them with other resources within the community. They are instrumental in assessing the psychosocial needs of the patient and their families, and then to devise a care plan together with that patient and that family as to how to address it and to empower the patient and family in this regard. When it comes to our spiritual bereavement support, spiritual care support forms a key aspect of our services that we offer to our patients in terms of their individual beliefs and their needs. And our service is rendered by spiritual bereavement counselors and volunteers that form part of the interdisciplinary team. Our bereavement care and support is also available to any loved one or relative or close friend, and can take place face-to-face or telephonically for a period of up to 13 months after the death of a loved one. And just like our teams are supporting our families, we as an organization also offer support to our team, and this is through a generous study leave policy that we have, the total number of leave days that we do offer. We offer an employee wellness support to our staff to ensure that there's enough debriefing, as well as supervision sessions and mentoring and coaching on the job. Because this job is very taxing, we do ensure that our teams are well informed and well trained, and we try and facilitate the training and create opportunities for our team through our various policies, and most importantly, for our team to develop within their skills.
The services that you have for the patients, not only the patients, but your teammates as well, is absolutely phenomenal. And the fact that you cater towards your patients in various locations and various spaces that they would prefer to be in, it's actually amazing as well. You also have a retirement village. Can you explain this St. Luke's Retirement Village and your signature event that I think people would really like to hear about?
So Norfolk Place Retirement Village is a life rights facility retirement centre developed by St. Luke's as a sustainable income to fund the ongoing work in the community. It is situated in the gardens of St. Luke's Combined Hospices in Kenilworth, and in the centre of the garden is a Norfolk pine tree, which St. Luke's uses for our annual signature event, namely our Tree of Lights event. And throughout the year, we ask individuals and companies to sponsor a light, where the funds are used to maintain the tree and obviously to support our palliative care work. Then on the first Sunday in December, we invite the public and patients who are mobile, as well as their families of the current patients and those who have already lost loved ones, to come and have a picnic on our lawn around the tree. And then we provide some light entertainment. We have a mini market, and at sunset we switch on the lights in memory of those that have passed on, as well as to celebrate the lives of those that are currently fighting a terminal illness.
When I first heard about the signature event, I got quite emotional, but it's such a great way to honor those that have passed, and to just keep a reminder that, they are still a light for us while we are going through our lives as well. We'll be taking another short break, continuing with the ads and the tunes. Then we'll be continuing with the Liberation Education on Islam Alive Radio. We'll see you after the break.
Southern Hill Gas and Hardware. If you'd like to purchase any size gas tank or even refill your gas tank, needing any screw or hammer and some sort of building equipment, visit Southern Hill Gas and Hardware in Southern Hill Drive, Lavender Hill. Islam Alive Radio is sponsored by Southern Hill Gas and Hardware, Cape Town, South Africa.
أيا من يدعي الفهم إلى كم يا أخ الوهم تعبي الذنب والذم وتخطي الخطأ الجم أما بان لك العيب أما أنذرك الشيب وما في نصحه ريب ولا سمعك قد صم أما نادى بك الموت أما أسمعك الصوت أما تخشى من الفوت فتحتاط وتهتم فكم تسدر في السهو وتختال من الزهو وتنصب إلى اللهو كأن الموت معا
Greetings from Islam Live Radio. I'm your host of Liberation Education, Ashi Karigo. The audios you have just heard. The first one is Nasheed called Hasn't Death Called You by Mashari Al-Afasi. And it's another TikTok audio about, pondering life and what you are doing in this life to prepare for the year after. And the second tune is Allahumma, about reaching out to Allah and how He should help you in your affairs before you leave for the year after. So this theme of the afterlife and coming to a close and just tying up of loose ends, which brings us to chapter 10 of the series with St. Luke's Combined Hospices. We spoke about the signature event that they have and the retirement village, as well as their philosophy and their political aspects. And we are going on to now another question on the career paths that they offer. St. Luke's, they offer multiple career paths besides clinical health. And there are many specialized fields with an average of 200 staff employed at any given time. List these other specialized fields that are offered at St. Luke's Combined Hospices.
While the care provided by a hospice is largely medical and psychosocial, there are other career pathing one can definitely consider if one feels attracted to hospice work. We definitely have, vacancies in different facilities and departments. In human resources, for example, in our finance team, in our retail team. Retail essentially means our charity shops, and we would definitely need administrators as well. If there's an advert available and open, then that is advertised on our website, and we also use other social platforms to pass through those vacancies as far and as wide as possible. We encourage people to apply if they feel they have met the criteria. All of our interviews are competency-based, and where applicable, candidates have to undertake case scenarios, and they are then interviewed by a panel. The interviewing process is quite rigorous due to sensitivities around the work that we do. And we also conduct different checks to ensure that the people that we employ are, fit in culturally within the culture of St. Luke's Combined Hospices. So people are encouraged to look at our website should they seek an affinity to belong to a hospice. So we also have volunteers, and if people are keen to volunteer at St. Luke's, we believe very strongly that volunteering is should be a mutually beneficial relationship. In other words, it should benefit the organization and the person intending to volunteer. We have twice a year a volunteer orientation morning where we showcase the work that St. Luke's Combined Hospices does, but more critically, where there is a need for volunteers. Again, that information appears on our website, and you can also call the organization and get more information as well.
It's interesting to hear about the rigor of your recruitment process, as well as the volunteers who would like to take part and contribute, the specialized fields that you offer with your multiple employees. You also provide courses to volunteers or people willing to enter this field. Can you tell us about the dates and times and when this happens, how it happens?
We offer palliative care courses through our Center for Palliative Learning at St. Luke's Combined Hospices. We aim to run each course twice per year. Our courses include a basic introductory palliative care course with an interdisciplinary team approach, and that we offer twice a year to prospective volunteers that would like to come and volunteer and be involved at St. Luke's, but also to any member of the public who are interested in attending the training and to broaden their knowledge and skills about palliative care. We also offer a bereavement care course, and that too is targeted towards prospective volunteers and any member of the public that would like to attend such courses. We are looking at including self-development workshops that if you are interested, you are most welcome to contact us on 021 797 5335, or you can email volunteers@stlukes.co.za, and we will gladly send you all of that information. We urge you to attend those courses, become involved as a volunteer at the organization, but also to broaden your own skills and your own knowledge base. Our courses basically run for 2 to 3 days, And depending on what it is that you are interested in, all of our courses are very experiential in nature, and it's a sharing of good practices, but also practical skills that we develop through connecting the theory with the practical aspects thereof.
It's brilliant that you offer these skills, the palliative care courses and the bereavement care courses, to volunteers, and skills that are really crucial to help in the medical field. It's brilliant. To our listeners, I will repeat the contact details: 021 797 5335, or you can email volunteers@stlukes.co.za. Along with the recruitment process, there's also staff benefits that you offer to volunteers or the staff, I mean. Can you tell us about these benefits?
Working at St. Luke's Combined Hospices, irrespective of which department or field you are in, provides one with a holistic experience of clinical and non-clinical interventions. As an organization, we try and conscientize our non-clinical staff on palliative care, because invariably they may face patients and or family members who may need information about the care and the services that we provide. As an organization, the staff are our key assets, and every effort is made within the constraints of being an NGO, which is not government funded, is to provide staff with a competitive salary. Unfortunately, we cannot compete with government salaries, and we are not a corporate organization. So within the constraints of an NGO setting, every effort is made to remuneratively reward staff as best as we can. We depend significantly on public funding, which has, as everyone knows, significantly dried up due to the aftermath of COVID-19. Having said that, though, we do try and provide staff with as much benefits as possible, such as a 22 days annual leave. The hospice and staff contribute 7.5% each to the pension fund. We also have a psychosocial institution that provides psychosocial care and support to staff at no cost. This cost is carried by the hospice. It's not only the staff member, but their family members and immediate loved ones can also access one-on-one counseling, telephonic counseling, in-person counseling, trauma counseling, and group work as well. Especially for the clinical teams, there are multiple avenues in which one can debrief. It's, during a one-on-one supervision or group supervision, discussing difficult cases in a group, journal clubs, which help, learn as well as to share challenges or challenging cases. And of course, is accessing the psychosocial intervention by a third-party company.
How you treat your staff and how you reward them is so admirable, and how they benefit from this organization at St. Luke's Combined Hospices is also quite empowering. Before we carry on with our questions, we're going to take one last break on Islam Alive Radio, continuing with ads and qasidas, and I'll see you in a bit on Liberation Education Chapter 10.
Islam Live Radio is sponsored by Al Muqeed Foundation South Africa. Would you like to donate cash or kind towards feeding our children and people? Contact the following number: +27 66 33 99 775. Al Muqeed Foundation South Africa, Cape Town, South Africa, serving the humanity.
بثبات ستصل أعلى من قيام
Shukran for being tuned to Islam Alive Radio. I'm your host of Liberation Education, Ashka Rigo. The tune you just heard, it was a song by Talia Lahoud. It's called La Mustahila, English, Nothing's Impossible, about how everyone should come together despite our differences and make the world a better place. And she did it in many languages like Arabic, English, Spanish, French, etc. This is a testament to the diversity and the breaking of social barriers that we've heard from St. Luke's Combined Hospices. I'm here with three amazing women, Ronita, Mahilall, the Chief Executive Officer, Feerouza, Kruger, the HOD for Revenue Services, and Mahilall Petersen-Damon, the HOD of Palliative Care Services at St. Luke's Combined Hospices. Amazing conversation we had, or discussion, and the insights that they gave are also truly inspiring and empowering on liberation education. I'm honored to have them with us, and we spoke so much on their work in those hospices, sit in different locations, and catering to different needs of their patients. You spoke so much about the incredible work you do and your process, your recruitment processes, the staff, your specialized fields. And now that we have heard your side and the insights of your work, we would also like to, put a hand in where we can. So where can we donate or help fund your eye-opening and life-changing organization?
There are many ways of supporting our work. We always welcome donations of all pre-loved and new items of clothing, books, furniture, and bric-a-brac items. These can be dropped off at any one of our charity shops or at our head office in Kenilworth at 92 Harfield Road. Alternatively, we can also do collections. And then we welcome bequests, which is a gift made through a person's will. We also have an auction website where people can sign up as a bidder or donate goods or experiences or services, which we can put up on our auction site. And then we have various events throughout the year, such as high teas, golf days, markets, and dinners, where we always count on the public to support. And we're always looking for either companies or individuals to partner with us and have fundraisers on our behalf. And then we welcome any cash donations, either via a monthly debit order or once-off donations via EFT, which can be done into our Nedbank account, which is 105 186 309. That's 105 186 309.
It's great that you have these events and these projects to fund this organization so that we can contribute and put a hand in to help St. Luke's Combined Hospices flourish. And because this will be a podcast, I will upload it so that our listeners can go back to the Nedbank account and, donate there as well. The number, account number 105 188 6309. A personal question to the three amazing women that are with us today. To Ronita, Feerouza, and Mahilall. Because you've worked in this field and in St. Luke's Combined Hospices for a while, what is the most liberating thing, since we're on liberation education, what is the most liberating thing about working at St. Luke's Combined Hospices to you?
For me, I find a number of liberating things that have helped me learn and grow as an individual and more especially as a leader. St. Luke's Combined Hospices humbles one. I think when you are in the ward or you are working with a terminally ill patient, you realize that there are so many things during our healthy lives that we get upset about, we sometimes over-dramatize, and we pay so much of attention to things that largely are not as important. So it's when you see people who are in the last months and weeks of their lives talk about what they could have done differently. I think for me that's most liberating. Being the leader of such an iconic organization does come with its challenges as well. I believe in consistent management and transparency, and therefore we have a number of policies and standard operating procedures so that staff and volunteers know what the expectations of the organization are, and we encourage all of us to work within those parameters. It's also very rewarding when one engages with family members who are appreciative of the clinical intervention and the non-clinical intervention given by our very dedicated colleagues. And it's also very liberating that despite the loved one having passed away, we still have a large cohort of family members still staying in touch with our hospice, still seeking our assistance and our advice. And as I had mentioned earlier on, we provide a service 13 months after the patient has passed away, just to help the family cope with some milestones, which can be quite difficult in the absence of a loved one, such as a birthday or an anniversary. Having myself experienced death very personally, having lost my husband and son 5 months apart of each other, and more recently my mom, I have found that being at St. Luke's Combined Hospices, speaking especially to the clinical team and the spiritual care team, has been exceptionally comforting for me, so much so that I have done my PhD dissertation in 2021 on spiritual care as a key construct of palliative care, with an aim of developing a spiritual care curriculum nationally. I remain extremely proud of St. Luke's Combined Hospices and extremely grateful to my colleagues and our volunteers, and more critically to our boards, who have been exceptionally supportive and exceptionally dedicated to ensuring that St. Luke's continues to provide the best palliative care it can. We strongly believe that while there may be a limit to cure, there is no limit to care. Thank you.
For me, it's knowing that behind the scenes, I am the contributing towards palliative care and making a difference from a distance, but knowing that everything that I do on a daily basis contributes towards the care that our patients receive.
The most liberating experience for me working at St. Luke's is just the compassion that our teams have, and the joy and the love in the eyes of the patients and their families. I think it just reminds us of how beautiful life is, and how each person is working and walking towards their own personal journey. It really humbles one to experience what our teams are experiencing, but also to see that compassion and passion of the type of work that we do. And that for me is so liberating on an individual basis.
Just hearing how you three were liberated from your work and what you do, how you were affected by the organization and how you contribute, just entirely it's liberating in and of itself. Like you said, there is a limit to cure, but no limit to care. So how can we as the youth provide more care to make positive change in the future, like your work at St. Luke's Combined Hospices?
Well, in most cases, it's the more senior persons and adults who get involved with community service and volunteering. So one way that the youth can make a positive change, especially at St. Luke's, is by volunteering. We are always looking for volunteers in marketing and events, as well as at our charity shops and even in admin. And the youth are generally good at technology and design, so their skills could contribute towards marketing campaigns. And then high school students often have to do workplace experience, and they could select our organization to do that, where they could assist in admin as well as within our retail division. And this way, not only would they be making a positive change by supporting our work, but they would also be gaining work-life experience, which can help them for their future.
Indeed, palliative care and the skill sets that the youth can gain from working with St. Luke's combined hospices is really crucial. And we should definitely look into recognizing and contributing to that field. Finally, where can we follow you or get in contact with your team?
You can go to our website, which is www.stlukeshospice, that's STLUKES hospice.co.za, or you can contact us on 021 797 5335. And if you want to donate towards our charity shops, you can contact 021 762 2148, or you can email retail2, the number 2, at stlukes.co.za. Alternatively, we also have a WhatsApp number, which is 079 215 1412, and you can also email marketing at stlukes, stlukes.co.za. And then you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and LinkedIn, where you can just search for St. Luke's Combined Hospices. On X, you can search for St. Luke's Combined Hospices Official. And on Facebook, you can find us as St. Luke's Combined Hospices Cape Town.
Amazing. Thank you to all of you for being on Liberation Education today. Like I said, this will be recorded and uploaded on YouTube for our listeners, just so they can have the contact details and everything after it is uploaded, so they can go back to it. But shukran to all three of you for joining us today on Islam Alive Radio. This is chapter 10 of the series. When we're speaking to St. Luke's Combined Hospices, I am your host of Liberation Education, Ashika Regal. Shukran for being tuned. Remember, you can check us out on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, where you can like, share, and subscribe. For any queries, email us on islamalive@gmail.com, or you can send us a WhatsApp on +27 81 217 6012. That's +27 81 217 6012. Don't forget that St. Luke's Combined Hospices will also announce the upcoming pledge drive on Halaal TV, channel 347 DSTV, on the 31st of March 2024 from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. So at that time, you can go onto channel 347 and they will be talking about their pledge drive. For more information, contact 087-265-5045 or WhatsApp 079-215-1412. What an honor to have them on for the big number 10, chapter 10 of Liberation Education. For the rest of the time, we'll be playing St. Luke's advert. Then for the rest, we'll be playing some more qasidas. So sit back and relax for the rest of the session for Liberation Education. Shukran.
St. Luke's Combined Hospices are dedicated to providing compassionate palliative care to on average 600 patients every day and need your help to continue its mission. Join us on Sunday, 31st of March from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Pledge your support, big or small, and help us significantly impact the lives of those facing terminal illnesses. Your pledge enables us to offer comfort, dignity, and support to palliating patients and their families. Pledge day telephone 087 2655045 or WhatsApp 079 215 1412.
Since our listenership today might not be all Muslim and might just be those that are from differing religions and backgrounds or cultures that have been affected by the amazing work of St. Luke's Combined Hospices, this final piece that wraps up our session today, this final audio, is Through Heaven's Eyes, a song from Prince of Egypt, with all Abrahamic religions, just this idea of the deeds that you do now, how it affects, the afterlife, and not being indulged in this life of greed and selfishness, but those of love and care, just like what St. Luke's Combined Hospices is all about. So shukran and enjoy.
Tapestry, though its color brightly shine, can never see its purpose in the pattern of the grand design. And the stone that sits on the very top of the mountain's mighty face doesn't think it's more important than the stones that form the base. So how can you see what your life is worth or where your value lies? You can never see through the eyes of man. You must look at your life through heaven's eyes. A lake of gold in the desert sand is less than a cool fresh spring, and to one lost sheep a shepherd boy is greater than the richest king. If a man loses everything he owns, has he truly lost his worth? Or is it the beginning of a new and brighter birth? So how do you measure the worth of a man in wealth or strength or size? In how much he gained or how much he gave? The answer will come to him who tries to look at his life through heaven's eyes. And that's why we share all we have with you, though there's little to be found. When all you've got is nothing, there's a lot to go around. No life can escape being blown about by the winds of change and chance. And though you never know all the steps, you must learn to join the dance. You must learn to join the dance. So how do you Let your life